2026. We'll start with Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You started to stumble.
I know, it just drags everybody along with you. Do that.
Nobody will notice. Adoption of the agenda,
Going to add other business, election workers.
other business election workers. Anything else, Christie?
No, I think under other business, I will just talk about a wetland survey that we're going to ask Flycatcher to do.
Yep.
It's less than $5,000, so it doesn't really need to go to the board, but I just wanted to report to you on that.
All right. Public comment? Yep.
A lot of public, no comment.
That's good.
Yeah. Select board announcements?
I have one. In the mail, I got something from a short-term rental company that would like to rent out my home, my second home, which is I inherited from my parents. My grandson rents it from me. We hear from the Airbnb people that they're not taking homes out of the market for regular rentals. But this is Allen Point Road. It's not anywhere near the shore. It's just I happen to own two. I think they must go through the tax lists and
Yeah.
find out that somebody owns two properties. Maybe they'd like to put one of them as an Airbnb. So it's not true that they're not taking homes off the market. So anyway, I'm going to give that to the housing committee.
That was fine editorial.
Yes. And don't forget to vote next Tuesday or sooner.
You get a half an hour here.
Yep.
Nothing, Matt?
Nope.
All right. Town administrators report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everyone. I would like to ask Katie Neal, our Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Rec.
Parks, Rec, and Community Services Director. How's that, Katie?
I love it.
She's going to make a recommendation about our town monitor position.
Yes, the harbor master, select board member Matt Gilly, and I interviewed Matthew Martin last week for the position of the landings monitor. And the three of us were in great agreement that he would be an additional asset to our team. He comes from an education background that supports, ecology and environmental sciences, as well as he did a MCHT internship at a land trust out by Bethel, Maine, doing stewardship work. And I feel like he would be a great addition, and we would be excited to bring him on.
He also has GIS skills, too.
He also has GIS.
I bet Matt would like to make the motion for this one.
Sure, I'll make the motion. I recommend that we hire him.
I will second it.
I don't see any discussion. All in favor?
Thank
Just
you.
like that.
Thank you. The second recommendation regarding a new hire is a recommendation coming from me. I wanted to move relatively quickly after we lost Mike Drake and thought about the people who could fill that position in an interim basis. This is the fire administrator position. And one of the folks that I interviewed, and I did ask the chairman to join me in the interviews, is Frank True. And he is well qualified to take on this interim position. He currently does work for the town of Harpswell as a per diem firefighter.
I think he's overqualified, frankly.
But he has an amazing resume. He worked for the Department of Veteran Affairs, and he was the National Fire Department Program Manager and Fire Chief. His home base at that point, I think, was Washington, D.C., and he did a lot of traveling around the country to make sure that these programs were in good shape wherever they existed. He has also been a volunteer at the Harpswell Neck Fire and Rescue entity since 1989. He has lived in Harpswell, raised a family in Harpswell, really understands the community and the unique system we have for delivering fire and rescue services in Harpswell. So I think he's uniquely qualified to step in, to keep our operations moving forward, to help us with strategic planning, particularly with the new central building that the town is looking at constructing, And I really feel very comfortable that Frank True will do a really fine job in this interim period of time and recommend that he be hired for that position.
And he even wore a suit tonight trying to impress us. So I move that we hire Frank for the interim fire administrator.
I will second it.
I don't see any discussion. All in favor?
Right?
Thank you. I don't know if you would like to say anything, Frank, or,
No, I
Oh, okay.
appreciate the vote of
Yeah.
confidence.
okay.
Okay, now get out of here.
I will mention your wife's over there and you're over there.
Well, that seemed to be the trouble section.
Not for nothing, I just say.
No, thank you. I look forward to working with you guys.
Nope,
Thank
it's gonna be great.
Thank you. Last item is just an update on the Mitchell Field boat launch. We're really close to opening, but we won't be doing.
That close.
We won't be doing a grand opening tomorrow. The signage is kind of the last piece that we need to complete, and we just have not been able to.
Did you get a
do
hold of
that.
Don?
I did. He's
So
gonna
Garrett-
start tomorrow morning, but,
Cat's not ready, or?
no, he does have the
Okay,
signs.
okay.
But I think he's, it's
Good.
gonna take some time, and
I'll
he's got a
help him.
limited schedule
I'll give him a hand
tomorrow.
with it, getting it.
So I don't know if you want to look at a date next week and decide that you want something certain on that date, or,
Let's just wait until
Get the
it's,
signs up.
Okay.
let's get the signs up,
Okay.
and then we'll pick a date once
Okay,
we know it's
okay.
ready, instead of just keep,
okay.
And don't advertise a good day ahead of time. You have to give it a little time so people know.
Well, there is a lot of interest. I know the
Yes,
Anchor has
yes.
been wondering when it's going to open, and there have been some other people
maybe we can
wondering
just
as
push it
well,
to around the
so.
beginning of July, light fireworks off, kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah,
We,
nothing wrong with
yeah,
that.
we
Yeah.
also have the Potts Point Town Dock, which is close to completion. I think it's another week or
Ooh,
two
all of
before
these
that one is
projects.
done as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we may have a small ribbon cutting ceremony there as well.
I think the ramp was supposed to be delivered yesterday,
Okay.
Ooh,
and then they bring the floats down, I think.
Okay.
Like,
I think the last crib, they're looking at getting the fill in there. We did get an email today about that.
yeah, I'm gonna go look
So you're
tomorrow.
going to check that out tomorrow. Just one other item, or actually two more on the Mitchell Field boat launch, kind of traffic pattern and the opening of the front gate. We really wanted to try to clarify a couple of things you talked about at the last meeting. I think from the staff's perspective, we see the Lower Meadow Road as the one that you would go to the boat launch on. And then the recommendation has been to come back Community Drive. So that would be a one-way loop. But for the purposes of Mary Meeting Shellfish, and that was brought up at the last meeting, and for people to access the parking areas near Mary Meeting Shellfish, which they have agreed to allow the public to use, we think that that will be such limited traffic that they ought to be able to go two-way.
Yeah.
I don't think Dawn is completely on board with that, but we could try this.
Yeah.
We don't think there's going to be a lot of traffic initially, so we think it's, again, kind of a pilot program.
if we
but-
mess it up, we can always fix it, right?
Okay, so that piece, we just wanted to make sure the select board was on board with. And then this idea of opening the front gate, we weren't sure if you wanted to do that immediately upon opening the boat launch, or if you want to give that a little time before.
Well, the Mitchell Field Committee did talk about that,
Okay.
and they thought that a little at a time,
Okay.
however that might work.
So we know you might want to
Yeah,
open it eventually, but
Yeah,
we don't have a
yeah.
date certain necessarily? or-
Right.
I think
Okay.
we open it.
You think so?
Think so?
I think,
Might as well, it's left open half the time anyway.
well, and that's the only way we get a true
Yep.
idea of the use, because, I mean, we might come up with a plan, a month later, we decide to open the gate,
Yep.
and that plan we came up with is thrown out the window because there's more people using it at all hours. I don't know, I think we just go full send
Yeah,
and
Okay.
start with it open in the beginning, and we can always, if it doesn't work out, we can always pull back.
I wonder if Katie has anything.
Uh-oh,
Yeah, what's Katie got to say?
Parks and Rec.
And community
Just-
services.
Thank you. Katie Neal. Margaret made a great point at the last meeting in regards to Mary Meeting Shellfish, and I think giving them some advance notice before we fully open the gate is probably the best move. So I'm also for just leaving the gate open. I feel like we've talked about it
Yeah.
since I began here.
Way back in '02.
Well, it was like a year ago. But but with some lead time so that they can make whatever adjustments they want to make.
We already said we'd get in contact with Matt and talk to him about it.
Wonderful.
Very good. Okay, I think that's the direction we needed. So we're still not setting a specific date. We want to make sure we have our signage up and we're all comfortable.
Yeah,
And,
because the trouble with the boat launch is if somebody doesn't get back before dark, they're going to be locked in.
yeah, no, I
Right.
know,
Yeah.
I know. Okay. That concludes my
Oh,
report.
All
Thank
right,
you.
moving on. Consent agenda.
Oh, one item before you approve the consent agenda that is on there that I want to raise is we are including our final payment to Wyman and Simpson, the contractor for the boat launch.
Yep,
We have
I
discussed
saw that. Yeah,
how the contract was based on unit pricing, and that, you know, there's a little variation here and there, but we've decided, with the board's concurrence, that we'll just stick with 100%, and it actually, we believe, benefits the town by doing that. We can, you know, complete the project. They're going to provide as-built plans, and we'll be ready to go. So we just wanted to make sure you were aware of that. And there was one final change order to the Wyman and Simpson contract. It was for about, was it $1,500 for a piece that would keep the float from moving into the ramp.
yeah, yeah.
So it just had to be adjusted, two pieces, and it was a $1,500 item. So that is included in that final piece. But I think all in all, you know, they stuck closely to the price, and we didn't have any,
I'm sure glad, you know, that the whole time I've been a selectman, we've been working on this boat ramp. I'm sure.
Me too.
I'm sure glad we've gotten, well, yeah,
so before you approve that consent agenda, I wanted you to know that that final payment is there. We are going to
I
hold it
saw it in
until
there,
we
yeah,
have
yeah.
the as-built plans, and we're assured that, you know, everybody has been paid for the work that they've done. So,
I like it.
great.
So I will move the consent agenda, which is the contract amendments regarding Stantec and the state grant, the treasurer's report, and the authorization of the warrants.
I will second it.
No discussion, all in favor?
Right?
Thank you.
Everybody's favorite part? Update on road names.
Hi, Margaret McIntyre, Town Planner. At the last Select Board meeting, I asked for 2 weeks to look into some road names and kind of the road rules and the implications of naming both the roads. I followed that up with a memo to the board. One of them is a new road within a subdivision, which by the subdivision ordinance does need to be shown on the subdivision plan. I spoke with the owners, or the father of the property owner, this week, and he's agreed to go back to the planning board to make that amendment. It seems pretty simple enough. And we have, just so it's clear, we have required that for other roads within subdivisions in the past.
And that doesn't require a DOT curb cut for that one, right? That's off of
No.
a private road already.
Right.
Yeah.
The other one is behind Uncle Pete's. It kind of splits Uncle Pete's and the Harpswell Post Office. This one's a little more complicated and a little more confusing. I did about as much research as somebody can. You know, we talked to property owners, abutters. We looked through deeds. We looked through surveys. I talked to the DOT, and the property owner is going to reach out. He applied to the DOT for a new road, and he is going to, I think, follow up with his real estate attorney to make sure that what he's doing matches the letter of the ordinance to kind of protect his investment. So that one's a little unfinished.
How big is that lot?
104-1
Okay.
is, I think, 1.3
What
acres.
was it?
It's 525 feet long and
95.
95 feet wide.
Yep.
Yes, it was a little bigger.
Here comes Danielle.
Hi. Danielle Moody from Harpswell Neck. I spoke to you guys last week or 2 weeks ago about this. So first I came about the road name, and then conducting further research. I'm a little concerned about the road because it actually doesn't comply with the town ordinance for a road. The ordinance requires that it be a 33-foot right-of-way. And with there being 5 dwellings, because you have the post office, the store, myself, 2 other lots, and then the lot that wants to be built on, it has to have an 18-foot traveled way. Right now, the deeded right-of-way is only 30 feet. It was 30 feet when it got divided in 2011, which didn't meet the road ordinance. So when I purchased my lot in 2009, I obviously didn't know that that behind me was going to be subdivided, which is fine. But my well is in that right-of-way, which I was not made aware of until this all came up about somebody buying the piece of property. So my concerns are just, as a town, we vote and have ordinances and whatnot. And I just want everything to be fair and consistent. I was presented with asking to present names of a road that isn't a legal road because it doesn't meet the ordinance, doesn't have the DOT approval to even come off from Route 123 Harpswell Neck. So I'm really not sure why I was asked to come up with names. I think that maybe they thought it did meet all of that because it was done in 2011. But I'm just a little confused at why everything is being pursued when it doesn't meet the ordinance. So
I'm confused as well. I'm looking at a picture of what I think is the driveway with the dotted lines.
Yep, that
Kinda
is my current driveway.
Snakes around through.
Yep,
Now, the post office,
yep,
and then there's, looks like a long right-of-way.
that goes all the way
Is
down.
that the road? Is that the road we're
That's-
talking about?
Yeah, that's where the road technically would be. That's not what's currently there.
Right.
Currently, what's there is on the post office land and then snakes onto 104-1, which has been there since the house was built in 1989. That's when my house was built back there, so.
When were the road specs put in, Margaret? Wait. On private roads, like my road. When my road was put in, there were no specs in subdivision road.
Yeah, this road was not put in
It's
until
obvious.
2011. So, because there wasn't,
That's why I'm a little sensitive about it.
The road ordinance, the current road ordinance was adopted in, I think, '02. There was a previous one, but any road that's older than '02 is grandfathered.
That's why you're covered.
Huh?
You're older than though too,
yeah.
aren't you?
Yeah, and this road wasn't established really until, I think, 2011 when it was divided because it was one person that owned all of that land.
Right.
So it wasn't divided till 2011 when they had a survey done.
So I guess the thing is that it needs to go to the DOT to get the curb cut,
Correct.
right? That's. the-
Yep.
And it needs to stop snaking down across Uncle Pete's
Backyard.
Right,
backyard. Yeah.
right. Which to do that would mean my well is in the road.
Jeez.
That's the other problem. So right now, that snake's is 12 feet wide.
Yeah.
I measured it. I've done I came and met with Margaret. My well is about 4 feet off from where it currently is. So
Wow.
my well is right in that where it says 825.
Yep.
My well is kind of where like the AC is, but in the right of way. So it's up on that side of the lot, but
You
it's
wanna
in the
point
right
that
of
out
way.
just
Yeah,
so-
absolutely, yeah. So my well sits right here.
Oh, good place for it, yeah.
Which, again, when I bought, this wasn't here because this was all owned by one person. The
Right.
post office and all of these were owned by one person,
Yeah.
so.
Can you sink the wellhead, like my nephew's store? We sunk it in the parking lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Curb over it and a manhole cover.
Kind of an
Yeah.
uncomfortable feeling, isn't it?
right, I
It's
mean,
cheaper than a new well.
They do
Yeah.
make guaranteed seals, though, that go on the top of a well like that.
Yeah.
so.
Now you
Yeah.
have access to it.
yeah,
Hard
To-
to move.
it doesn't meet the 33 feet,
No.
ordinance, so that's my question.
Just don't pave over it. You might have to dig it up sometime.
Right,
I They probably won't, they're probably not gonna be paved.
Yeah,
Right.
so,
So you gotta go to the DOT, you gotta fix a few things.
right, I'm not going, like, I don't want it to be a road, so
Oh,
I'm not the one that wants it to be a road. I don't want it to be a road, so,
well, yeah,
But unfortunately,
yeah. It's just
right,
2 or more habitable structures requires.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
Right, but it also requires it to be 33 feet, and it's only 30.
right, yeah,
So the deeded right-of-way is only 30 feet,
yep, yep. Well,
so,
a can of worms has been opened here.
yep.
Yep,
Yep, yeah, because I originally was just coming about a name, and
Right,
then,
right.
and
I
then started
think-
discovering way more.
I don't think we touch that one until they at least have gone through MDOT.
I agree.
You know, I think,
Yeah, 'cause
we-
DOT may
because
tell
if
'em that
DOT tells them, no, we've just named something that DOT hasn't deemed a valid road.
No, I agree.
I'm fine with naming the first one, kind of like it says in the memo, assuming that they're gonna get that subdivision amendment and stuff completed, you know, I'd be fine.
The name won't be real until they get that done.
Right,
Yeah,
right. Like we could, I don't know if we can approve it
Conditionally upon
conditionally
planning board approval. Yeah.
that subdivision amendment happens. But that would be my thought on it. And then if MDOT approves it, then we can restart the discussion about the other one then.
what was the name on that one?
Do you remember?
Tuna Lane.
Oh, Vermont, for
Yeah.
104-1?
No, no, the
Oh.
other one. It was Tuna Lane,
Tuna?
Tuna Lane, though?
oh, I thought that
Tuna Lane? Or
Yeah,
Tuna
that's the
Road,
one we're gonna
Tuna
That's,
Lane?
approve.
that's the one near Curtis Cove,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
you had
Conditionally.
a different name you
I
wanted.
did have a different name,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I had
Uh,
that part in case if it was gonna get voted on today. I had that
I
part.
move that we conditionally approve Tuna Lane, I think it was, or Tuna Way, Tuna something. Conditionally that they get the subdivision amendment completed, and once that's completed, then they can have the name. And I think we hold off on I don't even know how to reference it, the 104-1, 104-2.
Yep, yep.
The other one, Rocky Lane or something, I think it was, right? Rocky Way.
I'm proud of you. I'll second that.
Instead of Joe Walt song.
Moved and seconded.
Second,
we're
all in
good.
favor?
Like,
That good. All right. Let's move on to Bambi.
This is the fun part.
So, this item involves Justin Steitzer from Maine DOT. I invited him to come to the select board meeting because we have had people reach out to the road commissioner concerned about the number of deer, the potential, vehicular traffic issues. And so I reached out to DOT and asked for some information about, data, what crash information they have, what recommendations they might make. And Justin offered to come, and he can explain the process that you have to go through in order to get signage on our state roads. We have to go to IF&W, I think. So Justin, if you'd like to take the podium and provide some of that background and context, that'd be really helpful.
how many deer do you have to hit before a sign goes up? Is that the,
Well, it's really dependent, but the process is, so you can reach out to the region traffic engineer, which is what you've done. But IF&W, MDIF&W, and Maine DOT have an agreement that everything goes through IF&W first. So if IF&W approves the use of signs, then it goes back to the region traffic engineer to decide what type of sign and where they're gonna go. I had gone through and created a Google Earth KMZ with the areas that look like there's a fair amount of crashes recorded each year. But unfortunately, I'm not able to share that today. I'm happy to pass my computer around if you'd like to take a look at it, though.
They have copies of your,
Yeah, so the
Of both
two
of
you're
them.
holding up there are the current location of signs in the town of Harpswell. Right now, there's 2 bracketed areas in Harpswell, and they're both on Route 24 down on Oars Island.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I've hit 2 deer myself on Route 123, almost home at night, I've hit 2 different deer. There
Yeah.
needs to be a sign down there.
Yeah, 123 seems to be the bigger issue, just based on the data that I looked at.
Yeah.
There's two
Well, they're 2 different.
two spots that rise to either a moderate or high level of occurrence, and that's, a moderate is like 2 to 3 occurrences per year over at least 2 years in the last 5 years. And a high occurrence would be 4 incidents over at least 2 years out of the last 5 years.
I think Harpswell Neck, generally speaking, has more forest, more, deer-friendly land.
Yeah.
That's down closer to the town center, Harpswell Neck.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
put it, my wife has a deer cam out, and there were a dozen deer in my backyard down in Basin Point, so, yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of them down there.
And just based on what I looked at, I would agree, and it seems like maybe the right-of-way, there's shrubs and trees encroaching on the road that probably exacerbates that. Less line of sight.
There are fewer shrubs and trees in my yard, I can tell you that.
Do you have any
Because of
data
deer.
for, once you've, like, say you put up a sign, one's approved in that high hit area, how much do signs necessarily reduce the accidents, if at all?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I have a guess.
I do
Yeah.
too, but you're the
Yeah.
expert,
I
so I'll
bet
let
they're
you
the
say
same.
it.
Well, I'm certainly not an expert, but I think if you look at different states, there is some evidence that it does reduce the number of collisions, but then it gets to a point where if you have too many signs, people just become used to the
Right.
signs and then don't pay attention to them anymore.
Right.
So there's a lot of other factors that play into it, speed limit and, like I said, the habitat, adjacent habitats as far as shrubs and that kind of stuff.
Up north, you'll see a sign that says a high deer hit area ahead, which is a little different than the pretty sign of the dancing deer.
Yeah.
But, as you say, signs, who pays any attention to them after a while, It's a
Like a
lovely
speed limit
sign.
sign.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yep.
I think the speed limit for the most part is 35 on the road. There might be
Oh,
a
no,
couple
it's
spots that it's a little
higher.
higher. But,
Some of our side roads are 35.
yeah.
But the state
But,
ones, they.
Like on
they
24,
take
the 2 big spots are Tower Hill, Mud Pond, and Judkins Corner.
Yeah, those are the two that are signed,
Yeah.
yeah.
First deer I hit was right at the speed limit sign where it goes from 30 to 40. I mean, it was right there.
Huh. There's also, the data suggests that there's a site right where Mountain Road meets 24, and then up about a quarter mile from there, north.
Yeah, I saw one just 2 years ago into the mountain road.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 200 acres back here of woods, and I'm sure there's a few deer back there.
I'm sure. But yeah, the bigger ones on 123, right where the town line is,
Yeah.
that's mile .4 on the
Yep,
road.
yep.
And then south from there for about a mile, that stretch, that mile-long stretch is a pretty high-hit area. And then the other one's around mile 7 to mile 8.5, that's just north of the town center.
Yep.
The only thing I'll add is, well, I agree with what others have said, that signs, get noticed for a bit and then get ignored. I think what the bigger factor at play here is that there is a massive deer herd in this town, and there's next to no population control. And one of the only population control means we have available is hunting. And there are people that bow hunt in town, so if you live in one of these areas and you're okay with people bow hunting, you don't have to listen to a gun, they're not dressed in bright orange usually, maybe consider opening your property up to a couple ethical bow hunters, to kind of help control that population, because besides that, I mean, the only thing that's controlling them is cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You want to leave your number?
They can get in touch with me if they need to.
Just want to make the point of those who want to go out and hunt deer, our firearms ordinance is rimfire and shotgun only, so it's 22s and shotguns, but.
I push
but
for bow hunting,
but bow
you know,
hunting,
because
yeah.
bow hunting, people don't have to hear the bang of a gun, it's
Yep.
safer.
Yep.
It's more ethical in my mind. I do both, but, I mean, bow hunting, I have much more success.
But isn't both those just during hunting season?
Yes.
Okay, just the way
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
hearing this
Yes.
description, I'm feeling like you're encouraging everybody to go out and
No,
go and
you're
gun-
right, Terry. I
Gun hunt
should-
now. and
Yeah,
so-
no, don't go now, only
Please,
during.
thank
yeah.
thank you.
Oh,
Oh, you-
yeah. Several years ago, I was building on Peaks Island, and all the tree huggers out there, their lawns were getting eaten by deer, and they finally called in the cavalry, and they had professional snipers out there, and they had freezers set up. They were butchering the deer right on site.
That gets expensive,
Yep.
though, because the town has to pay for said sniper. Then-
Yeah, they're typically doing it at night and.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it solved the problem for a spell anyway.
Yep.
So one of the things to think about is you identified some places on 123 that met the high crash criteria.
Yeah, the only one in the town that meets the
oh.
high crash criteria is on 123. It's that mile 4 to mile
Yeah.
5.
And we currently have no signage there.
Right, no, there's none.
So one of the ideas, I think I might have gotten this from you, Justin, it's used in Utah, or it mentions Utah at the bottom. If you put something near the town line, and it might have the deer symbol, and then it says for the
Next 15 miles.
But that's
Yeah.
just an option, or 12 miles down the neck.
Yeah, I suggest against saying, like, yeah, you could say 123, like, there's about 7 miles worth where you're
Yeah, or
having a lot of
7,
collisions.
yeah, I
but
don't know what the magic number is, but,
I personally would stick to shorter distances.
yeah.
To your
yeah.
migration,
And it doesn't have to say migration.
No.
but
I don't think they're a migratory
But they have
creature.
orange flags,
No.
I don't know,
Yep.
it's a different type
They are
of
to my
sign.
neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked
don't know how
about the
effective-
flashing lights are,
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go to that yet.
they probably work a little better because they
Do
get your
they?
attention for
Oh.
sure. But then if they're adjacent to a house or something, that may be a homeowner concern, so.
If we deem that that is the way to go, and it's approved by IFW, who foots the bill for the signs? The state, or, because it's a state road?
I assume it's Maine DOT that
Yeah.
would pay for all that, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought so, just clarifying,
Yeah.
thank you.
Next steps.
We need to know where you would like to see signs placed, because that's what we have to go to IF&W and request.
Everywhere.
Specific locations, and then did you talk about 24, I think you did say near the mountain road, is that another suggestion where,
Yeah, that's a low priority area, I
Yeah.
would say, but it's definitely a
Okay.
spot where
The high
where you're
power
seeing
area on
some
123.
mortality, yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing on the 123 side.
All right, well,
Uh,
okay.
Yeah, Oars Island, just anecdotally, it's Judkins Corner and Tower Hill.
But they have
It's a
them.
daily.
Those have them.
they
Yeah.
have,
They have them.
yeah.
Yeah, and interestingly,
If
that,
somebody put their own sign up.
yeah, interestingly, they don't show up on our databases
Oh, did
as
somebody put 'em?
meeting even low priority, but there's definitely deer sign there. I did go down and looked at, and
So,
Yeah.
Justin, did you say we have your hit report?
I've shared some of the
It was in a-
information, but
April 8th email.
That you handed out tonight to them,
Well,
right?
no, they had it previously,
Oh.
but I did hand it out tonight.
Right, but you said you have a report that the number of hits, different parts of town.
yeah, and you can use, so this is the Maine DOT public map viewer.
Yep.
The viewer that I have has access to different layers, and I have a 5-year layer. But you can go back and you can look on here, there's a 10-year crash layer, and that's for all crashes, so it's not just deer. But you can filter out just for deer in the town of
Right.
Harpswell, and it
Right.
shows you all of the crash
Take out the one or
locations.
two that aren't deer.
Yeah, yep.
Jeez, I'm telling you.
Do you want to
Okay.
do, can you do it quickly enough to show on this, from this computer? What, or were you struggling with that? Was it hard?
Just go to the town of Harpswell instead of doing that.
Oh. Okay. Nothing like putting you on the spot, huh?
So like I said, this is 10 years. All the these brown spots are the deer locations.
Oh, wow. These are reported crashes. Okay, got
Yes,
it.
so these are reported by the state police. So there's obviously a lot of data missing. These are only crashes that get reported.
Yeah.
So the sheriff's
Yeah.
deputies report these to the state police, so there's a running
Right.
record?
Yep.
Okay. Because
Or
both of mine
I-
are reported to a sheriff's deputy.
Yep.
And this is over a 10-year period, what you're showing us?
Yeah, this is over 10 year. I mean, the spots are still pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, you can see the town line here. This is the biggest priority spot. There's a bunch of ag fields and maybe some preserved land there.
Yep.
Yep.
You can keep moving down.
And then, I mean, you can see like essentially all of 123 from mile marker 4 to mile marker 11 point something is somewhat of a deer crash area. The other spot is this down closer to, is this the town center in here?
A little
And
bit
near
further
Lookout
south.
Point, just south of that.
Right
yeah,
Right
I see
there.
Harpswell Center right
Yeah, so
there.
this is the
Yeah.
other spot. There's some
Approaching,
conservation
yeah.
land on the
Yeah.
west side of the road here, and
Are the red dots automobile accidents, or?
yeah, those are like maybe a car went off the road, or for instance, this one is. And there's all kinds of data in here. It tells you what was the road surface like. Was it daylight? Was it nighttime? Drove too fast for conditions. That was the reason for that one.
Yeah.
So those are the two main spots on 123. There are a couple hits on Mountain Road as well. This is one area that I kind of looked at, but the data didn't suggest that there was a hot spot there. And this is the other kind of a low priority, right from the confluence of Mountain Road and 24 up to about Long Point Road. The other spot.
Down on the gunpoint right there.
So those are the main ones.
Okay. Nothing in Cundy's Harbor, huh?
No,
There is.
yeah,
They're not
Is it-
showing up.
Yeah, there, some of them didn't get reported.
yeah.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so my question is, who's going to take this data and decide where we're going to ask for signs?
Well, you get to decide where you think Harpswell should ask to have these signs placed, and then Justin and I can work together on getting that information to IF&W.
Right, but using that, so that we have some logical data.
Well, I think
Yeah.
Go
he
by.
just showed us
Yeah,
over
yeah.
at the entrance to town there on the 123 side, I think is a prime place for one. And,
Yeah, there's open fields and,
Yeah.
and forest. That was
Put it
kind
on
of
the
thing
front.
that deers like.
yeah, I like Kevin's idea.
And I'm happy to share the Google Earth file.
Okay.
It has locations, potential locations for putting signs.
Okay.
So, yeah, you showed us 3 areas tonight that you specifically think warrant.
I would
so-
agree with those 3 areas.
Okay.
You, David?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin?
Yep.
And you just want the regular deer sign?
Yeah, down by my house.
What?
Put the flashing one by David's.
All right, so I think we have good guidance.
Yeah.
We can move forward with
Yeah,
that.
Good enough
Okay.
anyway.
Yeah. good
Any
enough for
other
what's forward.
information that you would need from the town, Justin? Okay.
Thank you for coming.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
thanks.
you.
I like
Appreciate
that
it.
map.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's available to everybody. There's all kinds of video on there.
I want to,
Where all the culverts are, large culverts, small culverts,
Hey,
bridges.
Excellent. I'm sure our road commissioner is taking notes in the background.
wait,
Okay. Thank you.
hey, thanks. All right. Accept donation in memory of Mike Drake. I'd like to thank the couple. I'll read the letter.
yeah.
We good to go? This is to the select board. On behalf of my wife Sandra and I, and me, we would like to donate $5,000 to your fire and EMS department to use as you need in memory of Mike Drake. Mike has been our neighbor and friend here at Birch Point for many years. He lived on property owned by his grandparents, Ed and Carolyn Drake, both close friends of my parents. Sadly, in December of 1974, a log cabin that they had built themselves in the 30s burnt with them inside. Holy crap. Now, Mike has gone from the same property. Mike's service to fire control here and out west is so admirable, necessary, and appreciated. Sincerely, Peter and Sandra. I cannot read their last name.
Guiled. I
Giles?
believe. Guiled with a D, I
Dial.
believe.
I was trying to write it out, I think,
Oh.
before. So, Peter and Sandra Guile, if you're watching this, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Very generous.
Make a motion, we accept that 5,000 donation.
I will second that.
All right. All in favor?
Any idea what we would use it for?
Well, I did talk
Something-
to Mike's father, and I asked him if he had some recommendations, and he said he thought training might be an area that he would like to
Oh, there we
see
go.
that
I
might
think
go
that's a good
toward.
idea.
Yeah.
Thank you for reaching out
Yeah.
and asking that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that Scott, Ben was trying to recruit somebody this afternoon, so we have Scott technicians in town, you know, for the bottles.
Oh, the air packs, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so there's training for that.
might be
that-
timely.
Yep. All right. Set public hearing for June 18th at 6:15 regarding Quahog Bay Conservation closure.
Darcy Kuchar, Harbor Master. At the last Marine Resources Committee meeting, they did vote unanimously to move the date of the annual closure earlier. They would like to see it closed on July 1st. So I was hoping you would be agreeable to set a public hearing to discuss that for your next meeting.
I don't want to argue with those guys, so yes, I so move.
Great.
I'll second it.
Yeah. The reason they do that is they leave it closed all summer to let the mud rest.
Oh, yeah.
And then open it in December or November.
And then rototill it.
What's that?
And then rototill it after
Yeah,
that.
well, last year the ice came earlier, so
Oh, yeah,
they didn't
right.
get a jump on it.
It sure did.
Anyway, all in favor?
Aye.
Select for banking institution for bond anticipating note financing.
So as the board recalls, voters approved a $6 million bond for the Central Emergency Services Building, which is proceeding. We're going to be applying to the Maine Municipal Bond Bank in the fall issue for that $6 million. When the project was at first estimated to go quicker, I was before the board asking to send out for bids for a bond anticipation note financing earlier, and then the project has slowed down, and so, or is undergoing more studies than, and is slowing down the project. And so we did not utilize that band, but things are moving along now, and we do need another approved financing. I sent requests for bids to 6 institutions. 4 written responses were received. Androscoggin Bank at 4.79%, Bangor Savings Bank at 4.6%, Bath Savings Institution at 4.74%, and First National Bank at 6.07%. And so I am recommending that the board accept the bid from Bangor Savings Bank at 4.6%. And typically, you'll recall with a TAN or a ban, there's a motion and a long resolution that you are adopting. But because we've been through this process with an earlier ban,
Already did
that one still stands. So just asking that you accept proceeding with Bangor Savings Bank.
I will so move.
Also second.
I see no discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Ooh. Public comment?
In the end.
There's only one public here.
Oh, come on. I'm Dan Hobeck. I was here earlier in case Margaret needed any support, but I do have some other news that's a benefit to the town. For a number of years, Harpswell Aging at Home has had a free vegetable sharing table every one Wednesday at Kellogg Church, Orrs Island Library, and the Community Hall. And we found out 2 days ago that Mid-Host Hunger Prevention Program is already receiving produce, so we are going to be starting this next Wednesday. It was just, I thought I would let everyone know this way, because it's just been too late to get the news out any other way. And it starts about 12:30. Everything is free. The community garden will eventually support it as well as some local farmers. Individuals be bringing their produce as well. So it's an entirely free program for the people of Harpswell.
Thank you.
Excellent.
A lot of veggies there, Matt.
You won't have to worry about me taking any can.
All right.
You gotta have something to go with your venison, come on.
No, more venison or moose.
Other business
So
election workers?
Oh, you have election workers. Go for that first, then I have one other item.
Oh,
So,
Excuse me, we don't have anything.
I got nothing.
Because they just came up.
Yeah, okay, so,
They literally just came up. I just received this from the town clerk in preparation for the June 9th election. They have been out straight, and so this slipped through
Yeah.
coming before you
Yeah.
at the last meeting. So if you could please appoint the following election workers: Amy Saxton, Janet Coombs, Lydia Mears, Marge Warren, Carrie Boubier, Cynthia Powers, Patty Tillotson, Martha Israel, Susan Pettit, Kathleen O'Donnell, Susan Lowry, George Russell, Tim McCrate, Melody Moore, Megan Hubbard, Nancy Rose, Mackin Pulsifer, Tom Burke, and Douglas Nielsen.
I hear a lot of the usual suspects
Yeah.
in there.
same
So
cast
I
of
will,
characters.
I will move that.
I'll second it.
All in favor? All right. You had something else, Christie?
yeah, I wanted to update the board on some of the wetland work that's being done to investigate the area for the proposed emergency services building. So the town did engage Flycatcher, and it looked at the vernal pool that had shown up in a 2011 report that the town had commissioned. They did an updated survey, and the pool was not found to be significant.
Talking about over here?
Yes,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
we're
yeah.
proposing to locate the new building. It's
Behind
right
the
at the
radio station.
entrance to the recycling center on Community Drive.
Yeah, behind the radio stations. It's kind of wet back
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they found that that pool was not a significant one. However, there is an identified wet area and stream that we invited DEP to come and take a look at. And DEP indicated that we would have to be 25 feet. We would have to have a setback from that. And so now we need Flycatcher to really delineate where that's located, so that will help with the siting of that building. In addition, they said they would do an investigation of where we might put a septic system, kind of on potentially on the other side of Community Drive, across from where the building would be located. So they want to investigate that area as a possible septic site. I have asked our architects to review this, and assuming this covers what our architectural firm is looking for, I typically have the authority to sign anything less than, is it 5 or 6,000? 5,000. So it is under 5,000, but I wanted to make you aware of it. And I received it on June 1st. I'm asking the architects to review it to make sure it covers everything that they need for information, but I do plan to sign off on it unless you had any
No, just make
objection.
sure it's not 5,001.
No.
You'll be all set.
I'll let you read what they do. But anyway, so that's, I just want to report that out.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
If there's nothing else, see nothing else, we're adjourned.